This channel is proudly sponsored by Shades of Vengeance. They are currently celebrating 10 years of their flagship sci-fi RPG, Era the Consortium. Come join the celebration. You will find all of the information concerning the schedule, the events, in the community post that I will be pinning in the description and in the pinned comment. There is a 24-hour game event. Definitely check it out. You can join it at any hour when that event happens. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Dead Tree Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop RPG where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released the Whispers of Copperridge adventure module. You will find the links in the description and in the pinned comment. Hi, welcome to this part 1 of my review featuring Everyday Heroes. This is the spiritual successor to the D20 modern RPG. For those of you that have never played that before, it was an attempt to bring the Dungeons & Dragons RPG system into a modern setting. And this tabletop RPG of Everyday Heroes is all about being all sorts of people that experience all sorts of action-packed adventures in all sorts of modern subgenres. Now, let's talk about the quality of the PDF. The quality is exceptional. Everything is well written, organized, and explained. The document is fully bookmarked and hyperlinked. You also have a QR code to download the soundtrack for this RPG. The illustrations, the images, the graphic design, everything just screams action movie, comic book, TV series. So the highest in terms of quality overall. Now let's talk about the contents. First, you have a very interesting foreword from one of the designers of D20 Modern, Jeff Grubb. He speaks about Everyday Heroes as being first and foremost a set of rules for the modern era. Everyday heroes can take on anything. You can be a spy, a hard-bitten soldier, a brilliant detective, a dedicated nurse or doctor, a daring reporter, a cunning tactician, a genius mastermind. You can play in situations of action comedy, gritty realism, and everything in between and outside of that. You play this using polyhedral dice, and you have a guide on how to use this book. Part 1 concerns the heroes, describing everything you need to know to create characters. Part 2 covers the game rules, including the fine details on combat, chases, and how to play the game overall. Part 3 is about mastering the game, providing a toolbox of advice on how to run the game, special rules, and ideas for adventures. Then you have an introduction to tabletop RPGs in general. This introduction is not exactly accurate. It isn't the worst. This is not Fabula Ultima or the Walking Dead universe RPG level of awfulness. But it says here, a role-playing game or RPG is a game of collaborative exploration, and storytelling. This could give people the wrong impression. You are not telling a story about your characters, you are experiencing the game world as your characters. This is not Joe runs and jumps through the window, aims his gun and shoots at the bad guy in front of him, the bad guy dies, Joe turns around and then he runs once again, turning the corner. No. This is a tabletop role-playing game. This is a game where you play a role. The moment you are telling a story, you are not playing a role. You are not being in the fiction. So this is carried out as interactions. The game master presents a situation and the players interact with that situation, just like in a game where you play a role. It will be Joe runs at the window and jumps through it. Maybe it's an automatic success. Maybe you need to make a roll. The game master will tell you. And you handle things like that, interacting with the fiction within the game because you are playing a role within the game. If you want, you can tell a story after the game is finished. This is not a storytelling RPG hybrid game such as Hardy Boys or Raven or Children of the Fall. Then you have details on how this uses the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rule set, but adapted to this particular modern fiction experience. There are differences. For example, classes are broken into 2 components. Archetype and class. Each archetype offers several classes to choose from. Defense replaces armor class. Feats are a core part of the game rather than an optional rule. Multi-classing is accomplished through feats. Archetypes and classes go up to 10th level. Skills, equipment, conditions, and other game elements have been adjusted for play in the modern world, and so forth. And then you have an example of role-playing, which is also... No, this one is quite awful. The game master describes the situation. Okay, perfect. And then, what do you do? Why is the game master asking the players what they want to do? The players and the game master do not exist in the fiction. Are the players little kids that constantly need someone to... What do you want to do, little boy? Hey, Timid, what do you want to do? Billy, what do you want to do? No. We're adults, or at least we are mature people. You don't need to have an out-of-character conversation within the game, because the game master and the players do not exist in the fiction. You don't need to ask them what to do. Let the players interact with the fiction. And then you don't have a clear understanding or examples on how the players are describing their actions and suddenly they are talking in character or out of character. It is not very clear. And then this player says, I've got night vision goggles, so I put those on and look around carefully. You don't need to tell everyone at the table out of character that you have night vision goggles. Or perhaps, is the character telling the other members of the group that she has night vision goggles? You cannot tell because it is not made clear here. But then she says, it's got a zoom lens too. Does that help? Why is she asking the game master that doesn't exist in the game world if that works, if that helps? Mr. Game Master, can I do this? Miss Game Master, can I do that? Why don't you try it? Try it within the fiction, describe your action, and then see what happens. And you can be as cautious as you want. If you don't want to go through that door, take a peek. Throw a rock or something across the door to see if it is trapped or there are enemies or whatever. Take action within the fiction. Don't ask the game master, can I do this? Can I do that? Mommy, can I? Daddy, can I do? No. So, awful example. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part, we are going to talk about how to play the game. I know this may seem a bit negative because of the introduction, but believe me, later on, things improve. This is a good system. This is a good tabletop RPG. But I have to point out those things at the start. Thank you for watching this part of the review. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member and enjoying exclusive tabletop RPG tips. You can also use the super thanks button and check out the pinned comment below. This has been Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. I am currently unavailable for professional sessions, but I will put my contact information in the description and in the pinned comment for when I am available again. And remember, in tabletop RPGs, you are not telling a story about your characters, you are experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you and see you later.